Rev up your engines!
Eldar Noblek says, Scotty, do you think Cadillac CTSs are reliable, especially the older generation? No. They're not reliable at all. If you go for a V8 engine, if it's not the Northstar engine, they can be okay. If it's Northstar engine, run. But if it's a V6 engine, they're all junk as they age. You'd never want to buy a used V6 Cadillac engine. They zoop them up with turbos and stuff to get enough power, but they don't hold up. They can't take it. If you do find one that's a V8 and has a standard transmission, I've got customers with them. They're fun to drive. They're still going to have a lot of problems with motor mounts breaking, and you're going to have to spend $1,000 or so changing the motor mounts out, but they can be fun to drive. I still wouldn't buy one though myself. Laurentius Pinot says, greeting from Romania. My father wants to buy a new 2018 Mazda CX-5. What do you think? I want a petrol engine and a standard transmission. I'm on the fence on that one. It's a standard transmission. That's good, but it's a CX-5, and it's bad. When those things age, they have engine problems. They have this variable valve timing system that breaks down, and it costs thousands of dollars to fix. I've seen customers be trouble-free for 100 and 120,000 miles with those. But I've had customers buy them used with 120, 130,000. Then the engine's broke, and then they would have to put almost all the money they paid for their vehicle into just fixing that one part of it. So realize that. Now, if you're a person who's going to buy a car and you're happy with 100, 120,000 miles of reasonably trouble-free, go right ahead. But don't think it's going to go 200,000, 300,000 miles like a Toyota or a Honda can often go. RJ87 says, Scotty, I found an 05 Kia Carens with under 100,000 miles for $55.60. Did a test drive and scan. Everything's good. Should I buy it? Well, like I say, I'm not a fan of those things, but if it runs good, talking about a 14-year-old Kia under 100,000 miles. I'm assuming it's close to 100,000 miles for $55.60. It's too much money for my taste, but it depends on where you live. If you live in Canada, that's what they go for. Canadian dollars worth less and cars cost more there. If you lived in Texas here, 14-year-old Kia, I wouldn't pay more than $2,500 tops for that car, and a lot less if I'd get away with it. But if you like it, depending on the prices in your area, go ahead. Mr. Anaconda says, Scotty, isn't GM's 3400 motor one of the best V6s they ever made? Yes, they are. That was a very good engine. Unfortunately, the rest of the vehicle, then the electronics were bad. The automatic transmissions were garbage if you really poured them on. I mean, if you're an old man or old lady and you only drove 30 on a highway, you drove 55, they could hold up. But younger people that had them and they were doing burnouts and spinning around, it would eat. I had a custom eat out of tranny in one of those 3400s in 15,000 miles. He destroyed the thing, so they don't hold up with that kind of power. But the engine itself, they are very good engines. There was nothing wrong with that engine design. They're solid, reliable, and they didn't have any problems, really. Chris Perkins, and he says, Scotty, what's the best way to find a good mechanic like yourself? It's hard to find a good mechanic these days. There's no arguing it. I'm the last of a dying breed. I learned from my grandfather was a mechanic, and we care about our customers. These days, there's hardly any independent good shops lying around. Most places are affiliated with a dealership or they're a huge chain, and the people that run it, they put all the workers under intense pressure to sell things to the customer so that people that are doing the work, they'll get a cut of what's sold. So, of course, they're going to tell you you need $1,500 worth of work because part of that's going in their own pocket. It's very hard. Now, I've never advertised in my life. It's all word of mouth. So, ask your friends, see how they use, look around, read reviews on the internet, but of course, unfortunately, you got to take it all with a grain of salt, because I know a guy down the street, and when his workers aren't busy, he has them going on the internet, pretending to be other people, saying what a great mechanic is, when he's actually a lousy mechanic. So, a lot of stuff on the internet you can't believe that you read anymore, because everybody knows, that people are putting false reviews on there just to get more people to say good things about them. So, you really need your friends, word of mouth. Find somebody, then talk to them, and find an older guy like me or a middle-aged guy that has experience. Experience beats everything when it comes to fixing anything, just like a doctor. I once saw a doctor who was 25 years old, and she was an idiot. She didn't know what she was doing. When I said, when did you get your diploma? And I looked on the wall, there it was, University of Houston, and it was the year before. And I said, no wonder you've never seen anything like this before. You've only been doing this for 1 year. You need experience. And Alexander says, Scotty, I got a 2013 Dodge Dart. What do you suggest to do when the steering wheel is a bit harder to turn when driving? Does the computer need replacing? 2013 Dodge Dart? It's really a Fiat. It's got all Fiat technology in it. And Italian stuff, electronics brake. You probably are starting to have a problem in your electronic power steering system. That's typical on those things as they age. The only way that thing can be tested, got to get a guy like me, a professional mechanic. We get out our $5,000 and up scan tool. Then we run all the tests that we can on the electric power steering system. We push on the steering system, and then it gives us all these different different tests that can be done. And if there is a code for the power steering, we'll get it. You're not going to get a check engine light on it because they don't set them up that way. They're kind of evil. That's only for anti-pollution stuff. Nothing to do with power steering. We have to analyze all that stuff and then see what's going on. Now, if it's occasionally once in a while, it's a little harder. A lot of people live with it. But do have it scanned first to see if there's anything starting to go out. Sometimes it's a sensor, and it's not that expensive. But you have to find an honest mechanic because a lot of guys, they're just going to screw you to the wall and say, you need a new power steering motor. You got to find an honest mechanic, and that's a hard thing to do these days. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.